It's our pleasure to be here.
No.
The pleasure is all mine.
It's and I remember the day you performed the song at the Ghana Music Awards.
Oh, you mean the 2017?
2017
right?
edition.
Okay,
Yes.
Okay,
I mean, the auditorium came on fire.
Wow.
The auditorium came on fire, and I could see all the young acts at the time, from the Sarkodie to Kimbra. Everybody was on their feet.
Wow.
How did it make you feel?
Well, you see, when I was performing, I wasn't seeing anything.
Yeah.
I was just actually concentrating on the band, the sound, the notes, the choreography. Those were the things I was focusing on. Until later, I saw the clip and said, "Wow!" I saw the auditorium. The whole auditorium was on fire.
It was on fire.
Well, felt good. Felt so good. Felt so good.
So, I mean, I don't know how it feels like. I have never been a musician before, but this song, look. If you were to do a remix of this song, release it today with all the instrumentation, the chords, everything, probably just introduce a rap or something in there, it would still probably beat a lot of the new songs that are out there today. Would you agree?
Well, I wouldn't use the word beat. So that would be competing with somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, as a songwriter, I just write the songs and I sing them, hoping that somebody out there might enjoy it. I always say that when you go out there to perform, you have about, let's say, 10 people. Each of them has their own issues. Somebody is going to write his exams, somebody has marriage problems, somebody has health issues, somebody has so many issues, and hoping that somebody might be saved the day. So basically that's what I do.
I have another show on Joy. It's the Late Night Express.
That's right.
Mondays to Wednesdays, 10 p.m. till midnight. And anytime on Wednesdays, I dedicate it to Ghanaian and African music, African romantic love songs. And one of my favorite, in fact, not my favorite, audience favorite, Somedoshe.
Oh, wow.
Somedoshe.
It's one of my favorites as well.
Oh, you love Somedoshe?
I love Somedoshe.
Okay, that takes me to my next question. Of all your songs, which is your personal favorite?
I've never been able to figure that out. I still don't know. Till now I still don't know, because you see, there are some of the songs I just like the bass lines. There are some of them I love the chord progressions. Some of them the vocal melodies, and some of them just the groove. Some of them the horn riffs, and some of them the combination of how I if you take a song like Bomidong, for example, people don't know much about that song.
True.
But how the orchestration, the horns, the keyboards works, it's totally out of the way how we write our high life music. So I'm still scratching that surface of my talent. So I don't know which is my favorite until now.
Your understanding, your depth of, you're deep. Did you go to music school or something, or did you lock yourself in some room to learn? Where is it from? Because there are people who just sing because they have the talent, they can sing, but there are aspects of you people don't know. People don't know that you've worked on a number of productions, and today you're going to share some of them with us.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. People think, oh, that's a Charles Amoah. They know yeah. A lot of people, they probably don't know about Asanwado, they don't know about Fremi, they don't know about, a lot of the songs.
And shake your body to the beat, and scratch my back and all that.
Would you call yourself the father of Boga High Life?
No, I wouldn't say that at all. I wouldn't say that at all. Initially, for me, the story of Boga High Life, I give credit to many people.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I talk about CK Man. You remember in the 70s, CK Man did High Life, Funky High Life.
Yes.
Osoda Kusuya and
Osode, yes.
Yes, those kind of funky groove and all that.
Yeah.
I loved it. And then George Quaye's band, no, not his band actually. He was Fourth Dimension band.
Yeah.
That was a military band in Kumasi. They did Yadinam Pabo. That was also kind of. So you see that kind of funky elements in it.
Yeah.
And then Precious Jewels band.
Yes.
Just right here on Tiptoe Gardens.
Yes.
The Tiptoe Lane. That was where the band used to be. It was called Tiptoe Gardens. That's they were the resident
band there.
They did Yesu Nkwan I'm Ninu to Kwan Yesu Nkwan or Mami. So you see this same
the progression, the groove.
Yes, exactly. These elements still flows through it. And then Pat Thomas did Pat Thomas 1981. When I heard that, I said, oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. And then George Quaye came with Equity Brofo, which was also quite different from what part they've all been doing.
Yes.
Rex Jemfi came out with Enyumi Ya Metome Mao. I think Rex and I, we somehow came around the same time because I did Mino Belgro then.
Yes.
But then a friend of mine who kept persuading me to do High Life, and I said, Kwaku, he's Kwaku Mensah. I said, Kwaku, if I were to do High Life music, I've always envisaged High Life music being played with strings, orchestration, horns, the horn section, the brass, the bass synthesizer. You know, they used to play the High Life music with the bass, a normal bass guitar,
which
is the
exactly.
And it wasn't deep enough.
Yeah.
So I thought, can't we use the bass synthesizer to do the bass sound? Can't we use this, change the progression a little bit more into Cuban jazz, blues, add all these fusion, all these things? Can't we do that? And that was what I was pondering over, and I thought it could be possible. So when I first thought of Mino Belgro, started doing Mino Belgro, I thought I gave me the opportunity to add those elements into it. So if you hear Asanwado getting to the end part of the year, I was imagining the orchestra played all the cellos and
all of them in there.
Even though we didn't have the budget for it, but we had to somehow manage it.
Very, very interesting. That takes me back to the question I was asking earlier. Your background, your exposure to music, because it's different. It's very different.
Well, I think first and foremost, I was quite fortunate to have heard the my uncle had a nightclub in Kumasi called the Rider Nightclub.
Okay.
And all the bands were playing in Kumasi. In fact, Kumasi was the place.
The hub of music.
Was the hub of music.
Yes.
And then I had a Starlight Band. Starlight Band was one of the bands that that metamorphosed to be the Visa Bees Band. They backed Alaji Kefrim, but they did change and all that.
Yeah.
I had Master Kwabwa, Alex Kunedu. I performed for Alex Kunedu myself. With Nana Tufo. In fact, the song Asasiasa, the music itself was written by me and Nana Tufo.
Wow. And
then Kunedu had already recorded Asasiasa years back. And he thought it was quite okay if you could put transfer that lyrics of Asasiasa song onto the song that me and Nana Tufo has written.
Wow.
And Tufo titled the song "Don't Stop Loving Me." So and it worked out anyway. So I had the opportunity of listening to all these bands, but then I played also with Kofi and Johnson, Sparrow's band. And also with Kofi and Johnson, Madame Fupabeko. And then also with a Black Star Line band. Years back, the Black Star Line, the shipping corporation had a band called Black Ankle.
I see.
They were into more ballroom music, jazz, funk, all kinds of music. So I learned the rudiments of all these music. But then, lucky enough for me, somebody there gave me a record of Earth, Wind and Fire. From Mr. Morris White. And then they had this song, Get Away, let's leave today. So when I heard this, I said, this is the place I want to be. That's my kind of music. But then the question was, how do I fuse all these elements with the High Life music, especially with the guitar band music, where I play with Kumasi, with Alex Kunedu's band, Dr. KJC, and all that. How do I fuse all these music with all these riffs, horn riffs, and this kind of production, especially the production which I was looking at? So I learned from all these various bands, all these various groups. And then when I was playing with Jewel's band, I was the one singing all the Lionel Richie songs, the Commodores, Brick House. I was doing the Frank Beverly Maze before I let go. And I was a drummer too.
Oh, wow.
Originally, I'm a drummer. I'm a drummer by birth. Let me put it this way.
This is interesting.
So I played the Kunedu Asasiasa. I played all the drums.
Interesting.
Yes. And most of those Kunedu songs I played. So when we record, Black Anchor actually we recorded, President Jules we recorded, but the songs weren't that big that time in Ghana. At the time, anyway, but I was a drummer of the band, and I was doing all the breakouts from Commodores and singing at the same time. And Frank Beverly Maze, Before I Let Go, Conscious Funk, all those phone groups,
But how did you
Commodores,
get exposed to all these songs?
Earth, Wind and Fire, Get Over, and
But for
Saturday.
you at the time would be top
Exactly.
class. Why, you lived outside? You...
So finally, when I had the opportunity of going to Germany,
Yes.
that was when it all happened.
Uh-huh.
And so I said, okay, now let me try and fuse all these ideas, all these high
Together.
life, all these elements into one big pot. So initially, when I did my song, I wasn't calling it Boga High
Boga High
Life.
Life.
I was calling it ethno pop,
Uh-huh.
something very ethnical, ethno from the word. So I just called the
Yes,
word ethno,
ethno-pop.
but designed to cross border lines to make it popular. So that's how me know grow from me,
And all the rest followed.
It followed, yeah.
Interesting.
So I learned from all these, and then when I signed also the contract with Milosh Music, we did Scratch My Back. There I was a little bit restricted because it was more designed for the German clubs.
German
and all
clubs,
that,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
And then we had a guy called Ben Lidbrand. Ben Lidbrand is the guy who produced Shake Your Body to the Beat.
Yeah.
He produced You Sexy Thing from Hot Chocolate, the club version.
Yes.
And then he did also I'm an Alien from Sting.
From
You know the
Sting,
club version,
yes,
not
the
the original version.
Yes, the club version from
That's the guy
Sting.
called,
Yes.
he produced all those songs. So he
And
produced,
Shinehead did a remix
yes,
later.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
So he produced. So from all these producers and working with all these producers and all these musicians and all that. So, well, that's that's a journey.
A little bit whispered to me that you introduced a gem of a producer to Ghanaian music in the person of the late Budu.
Bodo Steiger.
Yes, Budu Tiger.
Well-
How did you meet him?
First and foremost, there was this black American guy. He was a bass player, Raul Walton. He played for Houdini, and this Italian Giannini. He played for all of them, and we became friends eventually.
Okay.
We started writing songs, and we wanted a German producer called Kenny Plank to produce us. Kenny died anyway. So as we were working, at a certain time we got stuck because we had only a 4-track machine and we wanted an 8-track machine. And he said, "Oh, I know a friend who has one," and that was Bodo. So we went to Bodo. We took the machine from Bodo and started working. That's how Bodo and I became friends.
Friends, okay.
But then I was already in contact with Peter Craig. Peter had recorded Res Jemphis Enyumiya Metumi Mao.
Okay.
Yeah, he recorded that song. Yes. So eventually, when I've done Mino Begro in a different studio in Bochum, and I came to Ghana to promote the album and came back to Germany, I was talking to Peter Craig, and I said, "Peter, it looks like we should be consistent with this idea." And Peter said, "Well, let's do it again." So then we started thinking of recording a Yordasem and so on. Days later, I went there and met Bodo, sitting down with Peter, and Bodo said, "Oh, Charles, how are you?" I said, "Fine." And so I'm teaming up with Bodo with Peter. I said, "Oh, that'd be great." So that's how Bodo and Peter and I started working together. But then at that time, Bodo was a German pop star. You know, he was quite big too. He had some
Yes.
series of kind of hit songs,
Yes.
and his name was Rheingold.
Yeah.
You know, and then that's how he named the studio Rheinklang. You know, that's
Rheinklang,
that river in Düsseldorf,
Yeah.
River Rhine. Yeah. Anyway, so Bodo then didn't know anything about her life. Peter Craig did because he has worked with Ray Jemfi.
Yeah.
So as we went step by step with the production, with high life music, what are the bases, what are the structures, the chord, the progression. Bodo then learned that those
And he became
the
a
rudiments of high life music from that time.
Wow.
And then we brought in an amplifier choir also to play the guitar on the
Yeah.
Yordasem. That was another fusion of a Yordasem. We will talk about that later.
We have to. It's
talk about
very
that.
important.
Yes.
It's important.
Why the guitar works on those songs are quite different from the usual Yamponsa. You know, I try also to fusion. The usual Yamponsa is played with all the 6 strings.
Yeah.
And I chose to play mine with only 4 strings. And that became very difficult for Ampofu as well. So eventually Bodo had to put a solid tape on the 6th and the 5th
On the
string.
set, what was the inspiration? What was the idea behind that, though?
I don't know, but I've always challenged myself and said that if Dr. K. Jesse came out with CGI Live with Ernest Honey with Mansa Uma, if you listen to the original version of Mansa Uma in the 60s, it's quite different from what Ernest Honey did added to what K. Jesse did recorded, and they had this all brass sessions and all these. I said, how could they add the guitar band music with all these horn sessions and all that? So it was quite challenging to me. And because I was singing the Earth, Wind and Fire, the Commodores and all this, I said, let me try and experiment by bringing all these elements in my high life music.
Wow.
So the challenge was always there. I was always being challenged. So that's what we did. That happened to the Audacem recording with the Yamponsa, then B flat major 7. I think the first day I said I don't want to. There was a professor in Ghana when he heard that he said B flat major 7 on Yamponsa. He said, "Wow." You know, so there are elements, there are things that people like my song, but they don't know how these stories need to be told. We need to document all these.
It's important.
Yes,
it is important. Yes. It is important because the songs.
So that's how actually Bodo studied the African
music.
It's just, no, specifically our high life music.
Okay.
And then when I did I did AB Cranes Obi Bewiase. Obi Bewiase on his own. Yes. So I did everything in Ghana. Sent it to Bodo for him to remix. So Bodo then started studying one after the other all these kind of productions that I was doing, and then eventually, when I left him, he continued.
He continued.
And also with Ampofu behind, with Ampofu on his side. Yeah. It worked out.
Because it looks like a lot of Ghanaian musicians owe a lot to that man. Because, I mean, you hear the songs and you hear the mix, you hear the final output, and man, it's simply amazing.
You see, it also has to do their understanding about music production per se. Peter Craig, Bodo Steiger, and some of the German engineers that we work with, and also the players, some of the German players. You know, for example, if you take Summit of it, the guitar solo was played by a German guitarist.
Oh, for real?
Yes, for real.
Wow.
And the saxophone solo on Sisau Suban, Frank Kirshner. Oh, how I can remember his name? Amazing. Frank Kirshner is one of the finest German jazz
performers.
No, saxophone
players. Okay.
And he's played with a lot of top German, top American musicians when they come to Germany and so on. And his understanding is because the way we structured the Sisau Suban, the Audacem. So musically, he could understand that. And then he could also hear the kind of jazzy progressions in there. So he could relate to it easily. And then I'll tell him, and I'll give him examples. I'll say, "Oh, Frank, this one I want you to play like this. John Coltrane, I want you to play like this jazz musician. This particular part of the solo, can you play like this one? Can you play like this one? Can you play like this one?" And how it turned out amazingly. And they have the nerves and the patience to listen. That's the thing. They have the time. They buy time. We will spend about 6 months, about a year producing an album.
Wow.
Yes. And I remember when I sang, when we were doing the vocals on Dear Rusi, Peter Craig had then traveled. When Peter came back, there was only one note. And Bodo couldn't hear it. When Peter came in, he heard it. I had to sing the entire song again.
Wow. Because of one note.
One note. So these are guys, they have the nerves, they have the patience to listen. Musically, they are well vested, and we will argue. We will want to understand. I remember when I sang Somidohe. When I was initially, Bodo called me and said, and he used to call me Black Man. He said, Black Man, what's the meaning of this song? And I tried to explain it to him, and he said the contents, and I explained it to him. He said the mood, the way you are singing the song, it doesn't jive with the content. Yeah, with the lyrics. Initially, I got angry. But he's telling me. When I explained to him some way, he said, "But that's not the way it's supposed to sound."
Wow.
I left, came back the following week, sang the song for almost 2 days. Bodo wasn't still happy.
Wow.
He said, "Charles, I'm not feeling it." Then I went to holidays to San Roberto, spent some couple of weeks with him, and I got fired. When I came back, the moment I stood in front of the microphone, or the first video, Bodo said, This is it. So how come could these Germans understand? So musically...
Hold on, before you go forward. In Summit Doshe, there's some drama in the beginning. Whose idea was that one?
It was my idea. Truthfully, when I was even writing the song, I've never thought of... I didn't think of the idea, the intro, the idea. It was an afterthought, by the way. And then after that, I said, "Oh, can I create make some dramatic scenes and all that and all that." So basically, that's where
you would have been a very fine actor. For those that haven't heard it, here is So Medoshe from the legendary Charles Amoah. I'm sure this you probably haven't heard it before, have you? So let us know. 055 We're in the studio with the legendary Charles Amoah. This one says Abwaje, the name is George Quaye on this show. It's George Quaye. Abwaje Jarof. I'm about 45 years, and back in the days, I love Charles Amoah's songs. Tell him to do a remix with some of the young artists to keep his songs fresh in the minds of the current generation. Thank you. Roland, don't worry. Those of us who are his generation, we know the song. We like them like that. But is it something that you've ever thought of? Maybe reworking some of them with some of these young acts?
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, my initial idea to come to Ghana in the early 90s was to produce most of the young guys, because I thought that all the ideas that the knowledge that we have acquired in Germany and all that in terms of production, songwriting, I thought it was about time we shared it with them.
Shared it, yeah.
Then I came down, started working on Tommy Radio, Dada Katie, and some of the other. The stumbling block I had then was the issue of the copyright issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, let me tackle that first. So I jump into the copyright issues, and then that also took my attention away from producing all the other guys. But then I decided to come back again in 2017. From 2018, I started writing some of the songs again. The song you're about to play today, Simply the Best, is one of the songs among the many songs that I've written for. And I was telling you on your program today, there's a couple of people that I've reached up to, and I have given some of the songs even to some of these young people, and what they're doing with it until now, I don't know. Simply the Best was offered to a lot of some of these young guys who ever came to my house, and I played it to many of them, but they will never take it.
Wow. And none of them gave you a reason?
No reason. And some of them I even give them the song, just the ordinary, the music itself, for them to rewrite the lyrics or whatever they wanted to do. And to today, I haven't heard from them. Some of them came, they wanted to record some of the songs. I never heard from them from 2018 until now.
Interesting. We're in the studios with the man Charles Amoah.
Well, I had to say this, you see, because I've heard many times that people say that my age group, we don't support and we don't invest in some of these young guys, but it's never true. For whatever the reason is, it's never true. So, well, I believe there are some out there who might show up eventually.
There definitely will be somebody who will show up eventually. But the man is still active. After how many years have you been doing this, Charles?
Over 50 plus.
Over 50 plus.
That's right.
And you're still active. You still perform.
That's right.
And you're still releasing.
Oh, the best is yet to come.
You're still a big brand.
The best is yet to come.
But how? Okay, I'll save that one. That's a part of our second part of the conversation when the rest of the panel join in. How it is that you've been able to sustain the brand at that strong top of mind awareness level all through the years? Because I mean, when the name Charles Amoah is mentioned, it's still a big name. You know.
Well, I think consistency, focus, and discipline.
Consistency, focus,
and discipline.
Ha.
And also you need to have a heart to share. You need to have a heart to share. I think once you have that also push you on the right path. Because if I take, for example, the copyright issues, where I spent about 15 years, 17 years, well, somebody might say, well, we lost it all. But at least it's giving birth to Gamro.
True.
Before we were under the ambit of the government.
Yeah.
COSGA was a quasi-government agency, but now we are private. So that has paid off. Now I'm back to production. But then years back to, I spent time producing. I think you will want to talk about that later.
Oh, we will definitely talk about that later. So, right now, I want us to go into Simply the Best. What is the inspiration behind this new song?
Well, I believe, George, you will look at your daughter and say she's the best.
I've got two of them.
You see, you will look at your wife and say she's the best.
Definitely.
Your mother, the best.
Definitely.
for any man, any woman is the best. The impact they have on us, not only by giving birth to us, but taking care of us as little babies till we grow. Even as we grow, my mother, even to her, I'm still I'm
Sure. Definitely always be the best for
you know.
them.
So that was the idea behind the song. But then also I thought that we could use the song for weddings, for giving birthdays to our lovely ones, and name it. You.
Let us hear it, ladies and gentlemen, from the man Charles Amoah, fresh and brand new. It's called Simply the Best. You're hearing it right here on Joy 99.7 FM, Showbiz A to Z. Take a listen, enjoy, feel it. We'll be back.
This be the right time, Charlie. Now this be my information. You too much, 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 you too. Simply the best. You feel good always to give. You don't mind making me happy at all. You dey make sure my belly full. You go give your smile for my tears, oh. You don't give your joy for my pain. Peace of mind is your prayer. God does I spend time on you just for my sleepless night. My heartaches, my troubles, my sorrows, my fears, and all I got to say.
Caribbean islands. No. But this is solid.
Oh, thank you very
This
much.
is solid.
Thank
So,
you,
so
George.
wait, you're telling me that a lot of our young acts passed on this?
Oh yes.
Wow,
Oh yes.
wow.
Oh yes.
Because I still got your guitar, your deep bass flair, and everything in there. But
I mean, truthfully, as a songwriter, sometimes when I write a song and decide to give it to other people,
yeah,
well, I'll just do it. But then, based upon the character of the person, his nature, how he sings,
Yeah.
the image, and all of it, we can restructure the song
rework it to suit their
the
brand,
person.
yeah, the
So
personality.
once the person is aware, I like it, then we can restructure the song and or yeah, you know, you can always change the elements and make it work for that particular person. Tailor it to suit.
This is very calypso-ish, you know, Caribbean-ish kind of, you know, I'm trying to find out where that inspiration is coming from, you know, because it's, you feel it, you hear it in there, unless you don't agree with me.
No, I agree with you. I agree. The elements. Well, I don't know, George, how I put the songs together. I just let myself go, no restrictions and all that. You see, these days, music, like Stevie Wonder would say, is a word within its own self. It's a language that we all understand.
Yep.
So somebody in Jamaica, somebody in India, somebody in Venezuela might like it. So
a lot of people are listening to us. My good friend Arabella says, George, that's a good one. Charles Amoah. This one says, GQ, tell Mr. Amoah I'd like to meet him and learn all I can. How do I get to him? That's from Eugene GH inside Nungwa. Okay, Eugene GH, we'll find a way. This one says, George, I think it would be quite difficult for the younger artists to match up with the standard. They just want computers to make music and beats for them. Claude inside Tema sent that one in. And then this one says, okay, that's okay. It says, Dada Charles, don't remix any song. Bia. Keep it original. The right person to feature can even spoil the song. I'm very young, but my interest has been in enjoying mature songs like yours. Don't pamper anyone, okay? Good one there, boy. Shortest in front. Hey, Jack, don't be silly. That's Nana Kwesi. Okay. And then this one also says, attended one of his performances in the 90s adjacent to GBC, Reinhard Saki. There's a place near GBC. Is it +233? That's opposite GBC.
Oh, I think that was Mr. Mike Egan's club.
Oh, okay.
Or was it Sunrise Hotel?
Ah,
most likely, yeah.
Possibly. Hi, George. Great show. Please tell your guests that these kind of their songs are what our fathers listen to, con our mothers, marry them till they do them part. Big up to him. Juman Joseph Comedies. Nah, that's true. Because you listen to Somi Doshepa, the lyrics in there. Hey. So Uncle Charles, how were you managing the ladies back in the days? Those days?
I think, you know, me and Anetifo, we have we were kind of quite fortunate to have those kind of very strong, strict family behind us.
Okay.
Tifo's mother, my grandfather, they were very quite strict with us.
Yeah.
So even when we would travel, we would, instead of staying in the clubs and all that, we would rather stay in the van.
Yeah.
We'd rather stay in the van. I remember very well. We would stay in the van, buy Fanta and bread.
And bread.
And eat, you know. And when they are all going to eat, me and Tifo will shop around, look for a small corner and go and eat and all that. I remember when I was also with Precious Jewels, Tip to Band.
Yeah.
And Black Uncle. With Black Uncle, I would leave early in the morning, about 7 o'clock, get to the rehearsal's place, and then rehearse for about 2 hours before the band will come. Somebody had then given me an album of Barry White, and you know about the Barry White songs.
Yes.
The drummer is quite very steady. I said, can I play like this drummer? So I'll put on the record and play along with it for 2 hours.
Wow.
And then when we're done with the rehearsals around 3 p.m., I'll stay inside again to 2 o'clock.
Wow.
Till till I get home. So I was challenging myself to play more as like these kind of drummers, you know. So
that's a lot of discipline.
That took. And also with the Precious Jewels band, we had the band within the band. We had a band called Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. That was that was the keyboardist Ben Apia,
the Trinity,
and Ben Apia and his younger brother Akwesi.
Yeah,
Akwesi had passed away. And that was the elder brother of Raf Kakari, the bass group.
Oh, okay.
So we formed a band called the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, and we were making money outside still within the band. So when Jewels goes on holidays, the three of us will be performing. We'll be traveling. We'll be gigging. So this was how I got caught up with my time. So
interesting. Because we hear musicians when you go on tour and all that, by the time you finish, your hotel has been besieged by all. Because and when they come, me pebra no to so me doshe no, me pesa me sonne doshe.
And also, you know, one of the good things that I learned, when I first started playing with Roberto in Switzerland, we would leave early in the morning around 7 o'clock. get to our destination. For example, if you are performing in Kumasi, we will leave very early, get to Kumasi by 10, 11 o'clock, set up the equipment, rehearse, make sure the sound is okay, get 2 hours break. Robert will take us to the city, have some coffee and then get back, rest for 2 hours. So I learned all these things from Sir Roberto, and so many of these people.
That's a lot of discipline.
That's a lot of discipline.
This one says, Uncle Charles should co-host Flashback with Uncle Billy later this evening. That would be the show. K inside, we just sent that one in. That will be interesting. This one says, hi George. It's great to hear the legend talk about how they patiently spend quality time to come out with their songs. No wonder the old folk songs are unique, soothing to their ears, and all angle and full of wisdom. But today, people, dear, no patience. Every second now and then, they want to come out with a new song, ending up so noise song all over the place. Enjoying the show. Keep up the convo. This is Nenyi inside Winneba. And then this one says, you're right, Sunrise. Okay, yeah, he agrees that the place was called Sunrise. That's it. And this one says, good afternoon, George. Okay, yes, I was reading this one early on. I didn't finish. He comes back, says, during the debate, a rendition of Luther Vandross' Never Too Much was played, and he drew my attention to the fact that various renditions have been commissioned and all are equally blissful, making his point more divine. He gave me the opportunity to name just one rendition of our time, and I couldn't. I grew up listening to his carefully selection of jazz, blues, lovers rocks. Thus, we children also somewhat look out for carefully curated song. I'm a young lad though, but in our time, we will just want to jam because perhaps the song hits us from the waist down. That's Shem Mixon Yeboah there. Okay, we've also been joined by Uncle Ken. Uncle Ken, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm not too bad, thanks
Charlie,
for asking. Yeah.
This is my best interview this year. I'm enjoying it so much.
enjoying
I'm
the
having a
convo.
lot of fun. Yeah. The convo is sweet.
I have not had the pleasure of meeting Charles.
Oh, you haven't? Oh,
This is my first face-to-face.
Wow.
Have we met?
I
this is the legendary Kennedy. This man,
Great.
just like you.
Super.
I mean, he. When they say the should I say connoisseurs of radio? Yeah, he's one of them.
I left the country before he started
Oh, okay.
his music. I think he started music around 74,
That's right.
thereabouts. Yes.
Charlie,
So the first time I
Uncle Ken, before you continue, the rest of the gentlemen who join us today had all not been born.
Exactly. So I think the first time I heard his music, I was in the UK, and I think it was his Sisamusubang album,
Yeah.
or something that was sent to me by a friend.
Wow.
You know, and I listened to it, and I liked him. When I came back to Ghana, he was here, and I was following his streets.
Yeah.
You know, but never really met him physically.
Wow.
This is the first
Super.
time. I'm glad.
Super.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad.
Super,
to meet
super.
you, you know.
Oh,
And
super.
I got to know today that, you know, I have always loved Charles Amoah. I love the songs. I mean, they used to, you know, when I was born, we were living in a compound house at Abusokai, and they used to play it in the house. So I kind of got used to it before we moved to Kotobabi and all that. And I've always followed the man. I love the song. I love Rex James Fee, George Darkon, the Boga High Life groove kind of, you know, party. I love them. Though we are, you know, early 80s, Onkola, we still love the
I
songs.
was in the UK when that trend.
What that trend started.
Yes,
You know,
started,
I
you
only
know,
got to
so
know
I
today.
really enjoyed
Yes.
the music. It was something new. To
It was,
me,
yeah, it
you
was
know,
different.
Because back home, before I left Ghana, I was more into the, you know, the CK Mans and the, you know, those high life guys. You know, Sweet Beans, CK Man,
Yeah.
KJC and the Noble Kings.
That's right.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
And you remember, and then there were so many bands. As I was walking in, as I just got down from there, I heard him talk about Sir Roberto.
Yes.
That's right.
Mention Sir Roberto.
Yeah.
That's right.
Sir Roberto used to
Bisoyaya.
be Bisoyaya. One of the BB bands, you
That's
know.
right.
Bisoyaya. I knew
That's
Sir
right.
Roberto
That's right.
before I left the country.
Interesting, interesting.
Yes.
I only got to know today he worked with so many other artists, including our own Ziggy Jr.
Yes, apparently. Yeah.
Just tell us about
But that was when
Oh, I
had come
did
back to
a
Ghana.
Oh,
we
okay.
a beer.
We a beer for Ziggy
We a beer for Ziggy.
Interesting.
great.
You produced it, worked on.
Well, what people don't know that I played almost virtually I played every instrument
Wow.
On the album.
on the album. From a zigzag song, I played everything.
Wow.
It's like the same like the one you just played.
Yes. Yes,
Virtually
it
I played
is.
yes,
Pretty much.
almost everything.
Very interesting.
Yes, and then engineered it, and then mix. Oh,
So, which other artists did you work with, or have you worked with?
I've done A.B. Crenso.
I love that song.
That album.
Yeah?
That-
You know, Budustaga did something with it. Together with some songs from Wahenba Kisi and all those
The
things.
94, yeah, the
He
remix.
Put them
Yeah, you
together.
put them together,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the remix.
I love
Yes,
that one.
yes,
I love that
yes.
one. Yeah.
I did also for Thomas Frimpong, Wunti album. I did for Tommy Redu.
Yes.
Tommy Redu, Frank Mensa Pozo, Dada Kedi.
Which of the Dada
Oh,
Kidi
Dada
song?
Kedi, I started with the Dinyo.
Okay.
The Dinyo album, and then the Obihu Donti, some of the songs, yes. And
Dada
then,
Kidi also has some fine songs.
and then Frank Mensa Pozo.
Okay, yeah. You mentioned.
Manumi Hu,
Yes.
the dark ballad. What was his name? Pasolo
Yes.
of Sibo Brothers.
Yes.
Sibo Brothers, Freddie Darkon, Jonah May,
You have worked.
wow. And some of the gospel artists in Kumasi.
Okay.
Shadaka Kwesiapia.
Yes.
Was it one of them that died, or what was his name? I've forgotten.
Wow.
The
Tons
list.
of artists.
Yes.
So where do you think your strength lies the most, in production or in performing or in singing? Where do you think you're best placed?
I don't know. I still don't know. I still don't know because I think I still don't know because I think I've a lot to experiment. I have a lot to give. I have a lot more work to do, and until that is done, I wouldn't be able to tell whether it's songwriting, whether it's producing, whether it's arrangement of the songs. I don't know.
Fifi Pratt is saying hello. He's saying good afternoon to you. Yeah. Everybody is
Say
wondering.
hello to him for me.
Everybody is wondering. Hey, George Quaye, Charles Amoah doesn't grant interviews. How is he in your studio?
For about 17 years, I stopped doing that.
Why?
I think, and then the first one was Hammer.
Yes.
Hammer dragged me for more than 2.5 years.
Wow.
So finally, I said, okay, let me put it this way.
Yeah.
My concern is that, first and foremost, if you take a topic to discuss, let's say if you take Payola
Yes.
or music production to discuss, I think you people don't extensively get into the nitty-gritties of the whole issue.
Exactly.
So for me, your listeners, your viewers, the parliamentarians, the presidency, the businessmen, the corporate entities, the listeners, the musicians themselves, does not get to the bottom of the whole issue.
Exactly.
If you want to talk about music, what is music production all about? The people don't even know that we have arrangers for horn arrangers, strings arrangers, rhythm arrangers, vocal arrangers, contractors. Even people don't even know the difference between keyboardists. Now, if you say a keyboardist, is he a pianist? He's an organist. He's a synthesizer player. If you look at the back of Jackson, the Beat It album, you see Steve Porcaro. He was just doing the synthesizer, tuning and so on,
Yeah.
programming it,
Yeah.
and then somebody else will come and play it. We have no idea what is all this all about. We sandwich everything. We don't even know the difference between a studio engineer and a record producer and an executive producer. We don't even know.
Uncle Jazz now is one person.
So my question is that my concern is that if George if you invite me to your program and it's about the topic is about music production, and you want me to talk about music production in less than
10
an hour,
minutes.
in 10 minutes, what would happen to the businessman who wants to invest in producing an artist? He has no idea. So he put his money in there, the record doesn't sell, and then he quits. But if he knows that it takes about a year, 6 months to record an album, and like I said, consistency, discipline and focus, that it might take about 5 to 10 years before an artist can get out there. So it's not that quick fix, quick coffee, instant coffee, and instant music and instant production. No,
It's not fast food.
no. That's how it takes. So the businessman does not know. The banks does not know. The parliamentarians themselves don't know. So how do they make laws that will help us grow? That will help us project
Interesting.
our music outside the world.
Deep.
So until we begin to have time to discuss these issues, the impact of music on tourism, if we want to discuss these things, we need to talk about it properly. How the Kube chromes and the Anochi chromes, all this has to come back to place. How music has to be in our school curriculum. Now you see that now the Minister of Education is involved.
True.
The parliamentarians then get involved.
Yeah.
The Minister of Finance has to be involved, because if you have to bring the Kube chromes and the private people have to open all these night places for live music performances, do they need a tax-free holiday? How does Parliament and pass all these laws? These are things that needs to be dealt with properly. So by the time we're done, the Minister of Parliament, the Minister of Finance is involved. The parliamentarians themselves are not that they bring the bill and they just and then it's passed.
True.
So these are the issues. So if you call me on your program and I say, Ma, it's not because I don't want to come or I'm being disrespectful, but it's because we don't have enough time to digress into the issues properly for people to understand, for the musicians themselves to understand. We don't do all these things. I see you guys, sometimes you complain about, we can't, how do we export our music? Do you know what the elements, what it takes? Do you know what it takes? Go and find out what it took Yeke to be out there. What it took Angelique Kidjo to be out there. Your Morikante, your Sondu. How many years? How were they groomed? The kind of bands they put together. They play from one club to another club, one place to another place. They build up their in terms of songwriting, the material, the library. They build it up. It took time, it took years. But you people will sit over here and just talk about it, and that's it. And I see you across the length and breadth of the country, all your entertainment programs, you people discuss all these programs. And sometimes you have what you people call the experts to come and digress about the whole thing. But yet if you ask him how does the chord progression of Mansa Uma, he doesn't even know. And yet he will tell you that yes,
he's an expert.
He's an expert. So
so you're hearing it.
So
it is not that he doesn't want to come.
This kind of banter argument here and there, and then you see people trending. Why do I want to trend? And Angelique Kidjo is being invited by Habi Hancock for his recordings. When I heard that, I said, wow, this woman has gone far. That's the kind of discussions, that's the kind of argument. What happened? How come Angelique Kidjo got that? Now she's all over the place. The most major gigs are being played by this frontline by this francophone country musicians and all that.
Yeah.
Check through your Spotify top 100. How many Ghanaian artists are there? Check through. You see the Justin Biebers and all these people are there. So why would I come over and then argue with you and go back and forth and all that?
You heard him. It is not that he doesn't want to attend interviews, but if you want to make time, proper time, so that at least by the time he leaves the interview, would have made an impact. We've also been joined by my brother, Chief Mumin. Chief, welcome.
Thank you very much.
How old are you, Chief?
I'm actually turning 35 next week Saturday.
You're turning what?
35 next week Saturday.
Uncle Ken, we are surrounded by children.
You are who?
At least I'm 5 years older than him.
I mean, when you're approaching 35, you can already see 40, and when you can see 40, you can see 60. So I feel very heavy in years.
Yes, Uncle Ken.
You know, Charles raised some very interesting. You know, that's my lane.
Very true.
The production.
Yeah.
Uncle Ken, let me greet
quality
Charles.
music.
I haven't landed. Let me greet him.
Yes, Uncle Ken, hold on. Let him land. I'll come
Since
to you.
there's a legend in the studio.
In the studio.
Yes. I've been listening from the beginning of the show, and I want to pay my respects. Uncle Charles, I'm a young Ghanaian storyteller. You know, I'm not a musician, even though I have some musical, inclinations. But I'm a poet and a playwright. So I just want to extend my greatest respect. I do productions on Ghana's history, and I actually worked on a play on our musical history. And I was very struck when we go back in time, how rich of a musical culture and tradition that we have. Even if we take it alone from the beginning of palm wine music to high life music, and the bands, the professionalism that you are talking about, music as a profession, professional musicians, So I mean, great props and honor to you and to that generation who have paved the way.
The pleasure is all mine.
Yes.
Uncle Ken, now,
have you been listening to any of your songs though?
Yes, I heard a couple of the ones you played.
Before the ones I played, did
Yes.
you know Charles Amoah songs?
Yes, I know the face.
You know Charles Amoah's face?
Yes,
But you don't
yes,
know
yes,
his songs?
yes. I know his songs. I know if you play any of the popular ones, I'll jump to it.
Oh, okay.
You see about the documentation. These are things that I've been talking about.
Yeah.
True.
I was with Zap Mallet.
Yeah.
And a friend of Zap brought in two ladies, two young girls. But one was, I think, 15 and 12.
Yes.
And there was a friend. She was, I think, the third year at the school of, at Legon.
At the School of Performing Arts.
Yeah, no, at Legon.
At the University of
And
Ghana,
then
okay.
we were talking about, we were just talking, and then for some reason, a question came about if she knew about Diana Ross. She said no. Patti LaBelle, she said no. James Brown, she said no. Luther Vandross, she said no. But then the two young girls from London,
Yeah.
the 12 and 15, they knew all of them. They knew the Elta James,
All of them.
They knew them. You see, then I asked myself, it's the same thing if you ask them if they know about Master Kwabwa, they will say no. Kofi Annie Johnson, they say no. Dr. Kejeshi, they say no. Charles Amoah, they say no. Amachi Today,
They'll say
they
no.
say no. So, so it means the structures that the pillars, the foundation that was laid, has been broken.
True.
It's not there. So how do we expect our younger musicians to progress?
To be able to progress, yeah.
If you enter a shop in Germany and you want the entire songs of Stevie Wonder, how the chords were structured, everything is there. The recording, in fact, the recording of the songs of his double album, everything is there.
Songs in the key
Songs
of
in the
life.
key of life. You have all that, so you can take it and build upon it, add, subtract, and all that. That's how they've been growing. That's how these people have been growing. We have destroyed all our own. And now we turn around and blame the younger ones. Whose fault? Is the means of education? The structures by the government, by our chiefs, by the businessmen. Who is to be blamed? Nothing. So if Charles Amoah dies today, George Quaye is gone, nothing is there.
Deep. Very, very, very serious. Uncle Ken.
Yes.
Yes, you also had the floor. You were talking.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
saying that, that's my area.
Yes, true. Yeah, the production, the
and
instrumentation and everything,
of a
yeah.
solid album, But the thing is, the people of today don't record that way anymore. That's the problem, because George said to you, remember when you raised the point, George made the point, he says, these days it's a one-man production team. Unfortunately, and I get peeved most of the time, but like Sadiq will tell me, Uncle Ken, it's a generational thing. Yes. So don't worry too much about it. You mentioned the various credits on an album, George. That was the fun in those days. Buying an album, vinyl, I mean, putting it on your turntable, turning it up, sitting back, getting hold of the album, and looking through the credits.
That's right.
See who did what
That's right.
on the album.
That's right.
That it was more pleasurable sometimes than the music itself.
Yeah.
Because it taught you how to get to know the artists,
Exactly.
the session musicians, and the various people involved in production. So today, when I hear a song by an artist, I know, this artist, he was once upon a time on David Sanborn's album.
That's right.
He played alto sax. That's another thing. He mentioned the keyboards. He said, if you're a keyboardist, what does he play? Does he play piano? Does he play B3?
Yep, a lot of people don't know
What does
that.
he play? People, the same as the saxophonist.
Yeah.
We think all saxophonists are the same. But there are various saxophones.
That's right.
There's alto saxophone, there's soprano saxophone, there's tenor saxophone, there's baritone saxophone, there's bass saxophone. And to be able to get to know which is which, you must have been groomed from ages to learn the sound. So I can hear a bass saxophone on a track and I will tell you this is a bass saxophone. I'll tell you this is alto saxophone. This is tenor. Easily, because I know from just listening over the years, So the people of today don't record the way Charles is. So that is why they won't discuss it. Because that's not their way.
You're right.
Who's going back to getting session musicians into a studio, paying them by the hour? It's expensive.
It is expensive.
It's
It
an
is expensive.
expensive
But what you're
ordeal.
saying is very true. Because I remember very well. Was it 91 Michael Jackson released the Dangerous album?
The Dangerous one.
91 or 93? I think it was around.
Yeah, one of
you
those
know.
dates.
And people liked other songs on that album, but my favorite song, I fell in love with that song simply because of a guitar performance.
Okay.
So after,
But did you know the guitarist?
I didn't.
Exactly.
So it was only after I got a copy of the CD, then I looked at the back and I realized it was Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Right.
That did the guitar on Given to Me. The song was Given to Me.
Okay.
And till date, Given to Me has been my favorite from Michael Jackson's Dangerous.
Yeah.
That Dangerous album. So I do understand what you're saying, that
Yeah.
in those days, you even want to yearn to get a copy to look at the back.
Exactly.
To see the people that actually did the work on the song,
Yeah.
But, digital.
You see, I tell you something. If you're a record producer, it's very, very important you learn all the rudiments, like Ken said, all the various nature and kinds of instruments, what production is all about. So, for example, if you bring me Tommy Redu
Yeah.
and look at how he sings and how he is, the song will be designed and produced to specifically suit him. If you bring Ezekiel Jr., it will be designed to suit him. In fact, Yogi Dogi, you see, I did Yogi Dogi. Akokra winger, but it's quite different from Ezekiel.
It's very different.
So it's quite designed to suit him. These are things that we need to talk about. We need to learn. So if you don't know this, how then do you produce? How do you sound quite different? How do you sound quite different? If I hear John Robinson on drums, that's the guy who play Ain't Nobody. That is the guy who played for Luther Vandross, Chaka Khan. Name them. And when he does lectures, only the drum sound, how he tuned his drums. You have to be ahead of time just to go. And so, for example, if I'm producing an artist and I'm this song, can I do the snare just like John Robinson?
Yep.
Because I'm in tune with how he works and how he tunes and everything. I will produce it to suit his particular kind of direction of how he is. So these are issues that we need really to spend more time to document it, not only to document it, but let it sink very, very, very.
In the next 2 hours, we are going to be looking at the career path of a musician and how some of them just bust onto the scene, how to sustain and be a Charles Amoah that after 50 years, when they mention your name, it still comes with a lot of respect, and you're still performing, you're still releasing, you're still commanding relevance in the space. We've also been joined by my brother and friend Sadiq Abdullah Abuth, CEO of 3 Music Network. Alaji,
George.
You're not going to Hajj?
Not this year.
Not this year.
Some other time.
Okay. When you're in power.
How? It's actually not allowed.
When you're in power, you don't go to Hajj.
It's actually not even allowed to have somebody in the ways they do it, where maybe some government comes in, they try to fund their political fanatics and functionaries. That's not how it's supposed to be.
Oh, but what
But
I'm
that's not
saying
what
is
he
that's
likes.
not what
Nobody
I'm
asked you
saying.
whether you are going to Hajj.
No, he says it's power, and I said that no.
So wait, when you're in power, you will not go to Hajj. I'm not saying you are going to Hajj on state funds.
Oh, I'll go before that.
That's all I'm saying.
He hasn't been, and hey, then if he becomes an Alhaji,
We are there though.
Baba Sadiq.
We are dead.
Oh, again.
This one says 21 gun salute to Charles Amoah. 21 gun salute to Charles Amoah, great instrumentalist, vocalist, dancer, and showman. Precious Jewels, Tiptoe Charlie. The BB bands were King Bruce. His contribution is immense and priceless. Which song did he do with Tommy Redu? Wisdom, experience, expertise, humility. Charles has made my day, and that is our man, Naughty Dua. Yes. Naughty Dua is enjoying the conversation.
He's old school. He likes old school.
Yes. I love old school too. I love old school.
I know.
Sadiq, have you been following the conversation?
Yeah, I think I caught the last part of it.
The last part of it.
I caught the last part of it. But I've been following Charles Amoah, for some time. That there was a point in time I had to find a bit more on high life and the different variations.
Yeah.
And I was checking out the Bugger High Life period, and there are a lot of works that, apart from his work, I found out that there are a lot of works that he had to produce, and there's something I've been wanting to ask when I found out that he was coming. I realized his tone or style was almost the same as the John Quaye's kind of productions in those days. And I don't know, what accounted for it. Was it that you guys were working together in the same studio, or what explained? I don't know if I'm the first person referring to that.
Well, the little I can say. Well, I think the those of us in Germany started releasing before John released
Yeah.
Asaboni.
Asaboni,
So we were ahead of John. We were ahead before John started releasing Asaboni.
Yeah.
I also remember I did a song for Thomas Frimpong and Reno Beba. But then we couldn't get Thomas to come to Bodo's place to record the vocals. So apparently Thomas Frimpong gave the song to John Quaye to produce
To
it.
produce. Okay.
Produce it. And that because then he was also producing, he has then produced also Thomas Frimpong.
Okay.
Yeah, then that's when he produced Thomas Frimpong. So I think he somehow took some of our elements and added to it.
Okay.
And added to it. But then later, John and I became very good friends. We became very good, very good friends. Anytime I go to London, I'll visit him. And he
You'd
also
visit.
would
There's some
me. But
similarities. in the
he's one of the most incredible producers that I think we've lost. Not only a musician, but really when it comes to production, he was one person I was really looking up to.
Yeah.
John
Yeah.
was one person I was really looking up to.
This one says, George, please give in to me, small way. Eugene from Nungwa, please play Give In to Me. Oh, you want me? No, today is Charles Amoah. If you want to hear Give In to Me, tune into the Late Night Express on Monday. I'll play Give In to Me for you. Good afternoon, George. In the 80s, I remember I'll be in bed listening to Charles Amoah songs. Love his music and I do enjoy it. That's Oye Inside of Fienya. And this one says, are you sure Uncle Ken's age is accurate? Listen, now he's a football age suspect. Nana Kwesi.
Why does it?
I said, George, Sunrise Hotel is the
He's
current
younger than
Alisa Hotel at Norwich. Yes, we know that. It's current Alisa Hotel at Northridge branch. Yeah, that's true. There used to be another hotel down the road from there. Aside Sunrise, there was another. Was it Northridge Hotel?
Northridge Hotel.
Are you sure it was Northridge Hotel? There was another hotel down the road. I've forgotten. I remember because they had a big swimming pool. Yeah, it was some white structure with a big swimming pool. I think it's now where Metro TV is or something.
Yeah, where the Metro TV
Yeah.
is.
There used to be another hotel down there. Okay, so we're gonna take a short break. When we come back, more from the man Charles Amoah. If you do not know Charles Amoah, I've played his new song, but I'll take you back. You hear one of the old ones. We'll definitely come and do more of the new ones, and I'll let you know where you can get all of them. This one will take us into our break, then we'll come back to see how all our upcoming acts can stay longer than a lot of them, or some of them usually stay. They drop one hit, now they disappear. What accounts for that? Stay on. back to the studio. Yes, we have a full house now. We've been joined by Guru as well. Guru, welcome. It's an honor to have you on Showbiz A to Z. Is this the first time you're on Showbiz A to Z?
Yeah, first time.
Oh, how?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how? Look,
It be bad.
the most relevant entertainment show south of the Sahara.
Yeah, this is my first time being on.
This is the only
In
show.
the whole year, this is my first time coming to Joy.
Oh, no, that's not good.
It be bad.
Because this is the only entertainment show in Ghana
Wow.
that the presidency listens to.
Hey,
It is not a boost, it is a fact.
it is serious.
It is a fact. Yeah.
Presidential show.
Then
Hey, you know.
today be good day for.
Yeah.
There's presidential
topics
show.
we
It's
should
the
discuss.
president. They listen.
Because I even have certain. I want certain things to be addressed on.
Because
this show.
this is the show
Which
that
has been my
determined who should be, minister for tourism and
Yeah.
even deputy.
because-
Agokan Adelai,
I-
Sadiq Adelai. And if government changes, this show will still decide.
Agenda set.
Yes, because I have questions and I need answers.
What kind of questions do you have?
One,
Yeah.
based on my own experience, I went to New York, Manhattan,
Yeah.
and I went straight to ASCAP's office
Mhm.
and trying to retrieve certain files. And I wanted to know much more about why is Ghana music not recognized at the world stage and not having any platform that you can go and search high life music. Yet they are collecting high life royalties and giving to Gamro. Yes. And approaching them, I wanted to know why some of us don't have the direct link with them. All right. And making sure we can have a data that proves that, yo, Guru, I have like 100,000. All right. And it's like you working with a PR company, which is fine. What about I don't want to work with a PR company? I want to do it myself. And the whole thing was like, everything has been directed to Gamro. That's another conversation. But now, my problem is, our music don't exist.
It doesn't exist where?
It's been tagged Afro beat. And that's a big discussion. Oh.
But who tagged it?
What are we selling?
Don't worry. You're taking us into another conversation
Yeah.
which will need.
Like-
Uncle Charles has
like-
made it
like
clear.
I said, it's the
Uncle
whole
Charles has
question
made it
I
clear
need
to us that
Yeah.
we shouldn't do quickies when it comes to music discussions. We should give it full time.
No, me, like I said, right? I am in University of Ghana doing a little bit of theater,
Yeah.
knowing that I'll be able to know much about the genesis of it all and trying to figure it out. Basically, we're doing the literature now, but I really want to go deep into why. And sometimes we need to start something like a sort of an agenda, start projecting it. So some of the hard works and the beautiful works they've done projects the sort of future we all expect to see in Ghana. Because we know this here.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you do have a point. We'll look at that. That's a topic that needs looking at.
Serious.
But, before we get into our next topic, which is how you guys have managed to stay relevant and you're still in the space these days.
Chairman,
Let me ask, Charles, Chief Moment, while we're on break, we're having a conversation and he mentioned that, okay, just as we are, critiquing high life today, Guru just said our music is missing. We are now calling it Afro. Charles, when this Boga high life thing started, were there any criticisms? Does people attack you? You're spoiling our high life music. What is this? You're spoiling. Did you encounter any challenges of the sort?
Oh yes, I did. First and foremost, I remember when we brought Minobe Group.
Yeah.
These days they have these record shops
Yeah.
around Cantamanto,
Cantamanto, Opera,
Zungule
and all those
that.
places. Yeah.
And I remember the guy who brought it.
Yeah.
He told me that no one wanted to take it
Wow.
because they thought it wasn't our high life music. Like whether the Palm One,
Yeah.
whether the guitar band music
yeah.
or whatever, the big
What
band
they are
high life
used
or
to.
whatever it
Yeah.
was. Anyway, so I remember also when we were recording in the studio, I'd always been telling George Quaye and Billy and Bob Fishing that it might take about 20 years for people to absorb this music, because I had envisaged that already because of the fusion, because of the thinking that I had. So I was expecting that anyway. But when I came and I heard that, I said, oh, so I was right. But then I decided to adopt something which I had learned in Europe. You see, when the record companies sign an artist, they don't look at you that in a split second you become a superstar or you are a star or whatever it is. They would spend over 3 years first and foremost for your name, building up your artistic stage performances, materials,
The brand and
all-
everything.
Everything.
Complete.
That's the first 3 years. That's how they look at.
Wow.
Then they look at the next album. That might take you another. So by the next one, that will be 9 years. They're looking at around 9 years. That's when they think now. If you are lucky, if you are fortunate, that's with that. That hardly happens. That you have a huge hit, boom, like She's a Bad Mama Jama. It came one time, boom, that was it. Then you are quite fortunate. Now check out this Canadian guy, Weekend.
The Weekend.
Check them all. How long it took them before they
Before
got
they came
there.
out.
Check Jay-Z. Some of them 10, 15, 20 years. It's taken that long for them to get into where they are today.
Yes.
So you don't expect your songs for people to like it or just get into it or become a super what? No. It doesn't happen that
Doesn't
way.
happen that way. Okay.
Maybe some of us think that way, but from what I learned when I was in Germany, when EMI was going to sign me, that's what they said. That's what they told me. That they were looking at around. In fact, they were looking about the first 1 to 2 years me doing gigs in small clubs.
Wow.
About 100 gigs doing small clubs. I wasn't going to be paid. The musicians were going to be paid. But you play from one small club. In fact, when I came to Ghana, so that's what I did when I brought Beno Begro. I started playing at places like Nkoko, Sunyani, Brekum,
Strategy.
Domahinkro. So if I take, let's say, that enclave,
That enclave.
I would do, let's say, Wednesday at Techiman because they do this Techiman Wednesday. Then I would do Domahinkro on Friday. Then I would do Sunyani on Saturday. Then do Brekum on Sunday.
Wow.
If I take, let's say, Ho, I will do Ho on Friday, Ho on
Ho.
Friday, Ho on Saturday, and go to Koforia and do Koforia on Sunday. That's what Charles Amoah did across the country. And I left Kumasi and Accra. Then when I did Ayodasem, that was worse. Now it wasn't only that the shops wouldn't take it. Like we said, some of the musicians and some people were criticizing, but I'm the guy I will never get into arguing and fighting and quarreling and all that. No. I would just jump on the train, go to for rehearsals or for live performance, and that's what I did. I did the same thing. So the villages, the cities, the small towns. If I do Obuasi on Wednesday, then I'll go to Takwa on Friday. Then go to Takrady on Saturday.
And that was how you're promoting the
That was how I was
music.
promoting my album. So that's what I did. And left Kumasi and Accra.
Yo.
You see, I learned this from Lionel Richie when one time he was, I think one of his albums, he started Birmingham, Manchester City, and he would never do London.
He left London.
And then they would say, why? They say, the British media, if you do London and you
And you
goof,
mess up, that's the end of it.
you are done.
That's it.
So I said, okay. So when I started coming to Ghana, that's exactly what I was doing. Back and forth every now and then. I would do in 2 seasons in a
That's a
year.
lot of hard
June,
work.
July, then I'll come back in December. And then also in Germany, I was doing small clubs, small parties here and there. I'll carry my tapes here and there. London, I would do small. I was Holland, Belgium. I would do a show in Belgium on Friday. Then Saturday I'll be in Amsterdam. That's what I was doing.
So that's how you managed to get the people to adopt
Exactly. That's
Wow.
what I did. Basically, that's what I did.
Solid, man.
So don't expect that any new thing that you bring. You see, Gamer, the collection society in Germany,
Yeah.
they never had tree when you register a song. But now they have tree.
They have Chi there now.
Now they have tree now.
Solid.
You see, Gamer has tree now because they recognize that we are. I tell you 3 things: it's consistency, discipline, and focus. You remember when in the days of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, how come everybody heard of high life music? He took the
He
bands
took the
across
bands
whole-
across. Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I was told by someone that David GBC was designed that our music could cross to Australia, to all these countries. Do we have those policies now? Do we have them? Do we have?
No.
Do we have radio stations that will play Pan1 music 24 hours? Do we have radio stations that will play Boga Hala? Do we have radios that will play the Takoni Most music?
No.
Do you have the music that will play this? If you go to, the first time I went to New York City, I never had rap music. I said, but I'm in New York City. They said, Charles, the station you tune in is a jazz station, and they play jazz 24 hours, and they have different kind of jazz stations, contemporary jazz. They keep all the variety of their music
Alive.
because music is a culture that depicts the culture and the traditions of the people.
That's it.
We don't do that.
Yes.
Music is in the school curriculum. We've taken music out of the school curriculum. What are the government policies about music? The Kube Chrome and not Chrome, where we used to get when the music have released his album, is gone. And now Guru doesn't have a place to perform.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't have a place.
Yes.
At least before we have the culture center, the Kube Chrome and not Chrome and all these things. Look, Accra alone had over 60 nightclubs. By this time, oh Lord.
On a Saturday night.
You started partying from Wednesday to Sunday night.
Midday.
From Wednesday to Sunday. From Wednesday to Sunday. And the musician will play without even thinking about his record royalties. And look what is the tour.
Wow.
Second royalties there with the tour because you are gigging every single day. GWS we were playing on Wednesday at Tipto Gardens. Thursday we play at Nima Hotel, Grand Hotel. Friday we are playing at Tipto. Saturday we are playing. Sunday this party here and there. And some of the gigs even the entire money will be given to us.
Before
and we are paid monthly. It will seek us the whole properly, well organized. You have a house, the band, everything. You have a van, you have a car, you have the packers, everything.
George.
And
hold on, Sadiq.
So if look, we need to sit down and properly address this thing. The government policies to bring back Americans. Almost the 2 M's, and I promote America, and I call the 2 M's: music and movies. Because there's no child in Russia that know any American politician, but they know the Michael Jacksons, they know the football players, they know all of them.
The basketball players.
The basketball players. That's how they sell their product to you. You buy an American jeans because of Michael Jackson, and you go and eat burger. You go to Burger King because they influence you with their movies and their music. It's a deliberate policy. It's called the trade policy. The parliamentarians need to sit down. Our people have to sit down and make proper policies if we want to jumpstart music. There's no consistency. How do you and Guru is talking about what he's talking about. Listen, how can the francophone guys, Angela Kidjo, them break through in France? They have agencies that day.
That's it.
They have agencies. Their government they have this kind of marriage relationship with France. This culture thing they've been doing. We don't have that. And they have managers over there signing them for gigs. And listen, there's no European country that will sign Charles Amoah to come and perform and bring back the money to Ghana, unless I have an agency there so that I can spend some of the money there, pay for electricity there, buy their food, patronize their product and everything, spend the money there. How many British musicians are top musicians in America? You tell me. Apart from George Michael, Elton John sometimes.
Adele.
How many musicians? Adele.
A few.
How long did it take Adele?
Few. It's actually very few.
Sir, when you come to Britain, almost some American
the Americans also they
no,
don't, yeah.
It's called the trade policies.
That's it.
Look, there are a lot of things we need. That's why I quit coming on radio. Because if you bring one issue, we may have to discuss it for about a whole month for the parliamentarians to hear, the corporate entities to listen, the musicians to listen, our mothers and our fathers to listen, so that they could help us properly. Systems and structures are put in place, and Obia an idea of 100 years, 1,000 years, and you want to just go there and invade their territory?
It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Anyway, that's a solid one there. Very interesting.
We need really to break it down.
Wow.
If we take one issue, you have no places for live performances. Music is not taught in your schools. You have no standard recording studios. We don't have all that. You want to promote tourism, and you put music behind the back door. Love is right.
Sadiq, you remember when Honorable Deputy Speaker Marco Krikumante was Deputy Minister of Tourism, kept hammering on studio. There were some elements in the industry that thought, but why do we need studios? What are we gonna do with studios and all those
But
things?
But you don't need a government to establish recording studios. It has to be private. Make it easier.
For private people to be able to get into it. Exactly.
Give them tax-free holidays.
Yeah.
Then we can talk about the tax system that needs to be put in place for the music industry. That is the first place we have to talk about. The rules, the laws Parliament has to enact. Guru, if you want your music to go out there, I can tell you the laws our parliamentarians first need to enact, the things the Minister of Finance has to do, the judiciary. They have no idea about. Look, I arrested a guy who pirated my music in Kumasi. At the police station, the policeman asked me, Charles, now what's why I did crime in That was when I quit making music to fight against this copyright law. That was the day I said to myself, that was the day.
Do you know
for
the
17
challenges they
years.
had?
That was the day.
The challenges they had in setting up the creative arts court.
I know.
So that was the day.
And copyright is
And
the
even
foundation
if
of
you
every
arrest
creative
somebody,
economy.
it's never been tested. The law has been passed, but it's never been tested.
Yeah.
Say me for guru nyum says here. Where are the experts that can tell that anyway or sample way of away? And you heard you people talk about sampling. You can sample this. You can take. In America, Masa, the systems are there and they are working.
That's it.
Let me talk to Guru a little bit before we get into Guru. So what have you been up to? I mean, you haven't been here a whole year.
Godfather is saying everything.
No, I want Godfather to rest
here.
because Godfather is on fire, which I'm loving.
Thank you, Godfather. This what I don't know how to say. Yeah, listen. Okay, well, he will say the rest. So let me just talk about.
What you been up to?
Yeah,
quickly.
right now for this whole year, I started embarking on education. That's what I've been doing now. Like I said, I'm in the University of Ghana.
Okay.
Doing political science, information studies,
Wow.
and theater arts. Basically,
Guru for president.
I was saying possible. All these things will be fixed. Anyway,
Campaign message without sorted.
Solid. Because I realize we're not really projecting some of our values in politics or projecting some agendas, which is really lacking in the world of music and everything. So basically, I went there for IT. I wanted to study Bachelor of Science in Information Technology, and I dropped because the time to do it and looking at what I wanted to be or project in the next 4-8 years is about politics as well. So that's the main key I'm doing now. And we are done with first semester, and I'm trying to combine school with music. So we started this agenda by bringing entertainment, show business, into campuses where I'll be repping and just make them feel the connection between the artists and then the crowd, the numbers. For those days we used to perform.
So wait, you want to take the music back into the schools,
Yeah,
which is something
course.
Charles Amoah has been hammering on.
very
Yes, he
necessary.
said it like 4 times today.
Because the students, they're more than did the social media. The TikTokers and everybody that toast
okay, all that.
It's about students, and you need them. Joy will be joy if you don't have the numbers on social media.
Wait, you just said something that's critical.
And
If
there
I
are ones that
combine
even
what
check
you've
that
just said with what Charles has been talking about,
Yes,
we've taken the
empowerment.
music out of the schools at a time when social media has made it easy for us to reach the world.
Yeah.
And the people that are talking to the world on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, and Twitter
Are the ones
are in the schools.
Yeah.
Yes.
So instead of taking the music to them, so
Yeah.
they push it to the world.
You know the funny thing? Because they don't see the impact of your music, they are listening to the foreign content. So they are on the iTunes. Now I'm on the iTunes. Even the students, they will go there and Shazam other song from somewhere
George,
because
please.
Guru.
I agree 100% that the music should be taken to the schools.
Back to the schools.
Back to the schools like it was back in our day.
Yeah.
I was
But-
talking about the curriculum.
Yes, but
into the curriculum,
but
yeah.
I want to ask,
Yeah.
when you say the music should be taken back to the schools,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
I'm
The
talking about
theoretical part of music,
Yeah.
or just the what is happening now,
everything.
No, I think it's a combination of what both he and
everything, you know.
so that the children can
Enabling-
learn to
enabling
read
exactly.
music.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's
Feel-
already there. If it's about that, it's there. It's in the
It
universities and
needs
the
the,
schools.
the empowerment. It needs it
enabling
needs-
the music in the
yes,
schools.
Yes, to spread across because
No, I'm only
now-
asking whether they're going to learn to read music,
Yeah.
not just to play music. They are two different things.
No, but,
Reading and then understanding music.
No,
but
like,
you see,
me-
Guru, hold on.
Because
Uncle Ken, you see,
we
when it
have
comes to
people
when
like
it comes
Zap
to
came to sit here.
when it comes to reading music in schools, I think that is a whole different discipline on its own. When I hear people say take music back into the schools, when we were in school, there was music in the
There's
schools.
still music in schools.
You understand?
How?
That-
How is
that
that
was-
What
oh,
was,
that was-
what was the music like?
we in association we had music lessons. I remember Mr. Eisen and there was another woman where they teach us piano and all those things. You understand? They teach piano, they will teach music, they will teach all the treble
The
clef,
clefs.
bass clef.
Yeah.
Every good boy deserves favor, face, all those
as a
things.
core subject for everybody?
Yeah, it
An
was compulsory.
extracurricular
No, it wasn't extracurricular. If you wanted to take it further, it
You
was
do
a
extracurricular.
course. So it was light. It wasn't very, very deep.
And is that what has
Those-
been taken out of the schools now?
last time I
But for
checked,
the
I think
basic
yes.
schools, music per
Yes,
se is
it's
not
been
there,
taken
but in
out.
secondary
Yes.
schools it is.
Look, you
Yes.
see,
in
this
secondary schools,
these
yes.
are things I've been telling you guys. We need properly. We have to take one thing at a time.
Exactly.
Properly structure the right questions. So by the time we're done about, let's say, an hour, the Minister of Education knows exactly what we're talking
The
about.
file.
The parliamentarians knows what we're talking about. The judiciary, all the people that matter, the musicians themselves, our parents also know exactly what we're talking about. But Guru, let me quickly say one thing. I've always said that this country, the cocoa farmers, the parliamentarians know as to how much they bring in a year. The rice producers are able to tell. The Makola Trade Association, they are able to tell. Who has been able to tell how much in a year the music industry generates?
Oh my goodness.
Who?
Baba,
Tell
you
you-
had figures.
Who?
Yeah, I have the figures.
Yeah.
Baba has
Baba has the figures. Baba, is it from
estimates,
My
yeah.
figures is actually things I subscribe from the PwC.
That's what I was going to.
not from
yeah,
government. Yeah,
exactly.
But you
there's a
see-
recent one
Yes.
from
But you see,
Yeah.
if you go to Germany now, if you go to America now, they can tell you for live performances alone, from the Janet Jackson, Wan Wine, Beyonce, and Wan Wine. This is how much it generated. When they do the red carpet, they can tell you at Masons the dress Beyonce was wearing that night. They've had about 3,000, 4,000
Orders.
So the fashion industry will know as to even how much they generated from the concerts
Yeah.
and the clothing the artists were
Yeah.
wearing, the
Yeah.
canvas, the shoes.
Yeah.
They also bring their figures.
Yeah.
The chop bars owners, the restaurants, they will tell you as to how much, because ASCAP can tell you as to how much they've collected from all these
Straight.
straight
That have come-
from
yeah.
the airlines.
Yeah.
They will tell you how much all the areas Sony has brought, Z-Gram has brought. They will able to tell you as to how much. So when they are making policies about the music industries, they know what exactly.
What
to do.
exactly they are talking about? Okay.
We don't have that. We don't know. So how do we explain that?
No, I
Experience
think
it.
that, I think that
Let
the-
us-
Where do we
there is-
begin?
It's just the fact that it hasn't seeped into officialdom in terms of the state actually subscribing to it. Of course, for agriculture and co, there are state organizations like the Statistical Service that undertake it. But with entertainment, media, and stuff like that, there are a lot of private-led research. There's a recent one by PricewaterhouseCoopers
Yeah,
on
PwC.
Media Entertainment Outlook in Ghana, Nigeria, Tanzania, Kenya. You know, and there are projections. In fact, in ASAT, the ones that came out, I was reading last night. The music streaming revenue in Ghana as at the end of 2021 was $1 million, and it's expected to jump to the PwC predicts that the mobile revenue, which is from streaming, ringback tones, and everything, and all of those things, will shoot out to about $8.1 million in 2022.
Okay, but you
So
see,
all these
I
things
think,
are there,
Sadiq, I
but I
think
mean-
what Charles is talking about, this is just
No, it's not the
one
state-
aspect.
yeah.
This is just digital.
This is me
But
who
you
has
see,
taken an interest in these things.
No, but
because
even let's
it helps
even
my
look
job.
beyond you.
One
Let's
side
even
of-
say it is information that's out there, but it's just one aspect of it. It's just
Yeah.
digital. I have a presentation to make. I've been invited to speak at an event on Tuesday by the Ghana Telecoms Chamber. And there's pertinent information that I've been looking for instance. And you're not even getting the information because we don't put things out there. You understand? For instance, if Charles Amoah Music International Incorporated signed Guru today, they would both not be willing to say how much was involved.
Yeah.
Guru would not come out to say it.
Confidentiality.
Charles Amoah will not come out to say it. But out there in the world, they sign you, they put it out there. This is
not entirely,
you know,
Josh.
but you get what I'm saying. Generally,
we don't.
you understand?
Just
Why
on top
don't
of my
we?
head, I tell you this. The taxation system is one of look because for example, I give you this.
Wasn't that to factors in?
Because whatever Guru does, if I say that I'm signing him and therefore I'm paying him 100 Ghana cedis and I put it out there, you know why I'm not afraid? Because at the end of the day, I will go to the tax office, do my accounting, what I did with that 100 cedis, and I
You'd
get
have-
my tax
exactly.
returns back.
Exactly.
He would also have to do his account.
Exactly.
So that's what that brings
No
transparency.
problem is
Yeah.
about this.
So no problem because the taxation systems does not function
Does not.
as far as the music industry is concerned here. We don't have all that.
Yeah, soon. When Guru is president.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Guru, this is what you are doing now. You want to help
that's
put the
what I'm
music back
doing.
into the schools.
I just want people to be inspired about the music we're doing. Most people think musicians are not educative enough, and
Sorry, your mics are still on. Yeah.
and then I really want to change that narrative that they should take some of us also serious, because
Yeah.
in terms of academics we're doing it and we're doing good. And one thing is having that connection with the students and the artists, it brings a sort of a certain feeling to help boost the numbers on the streaming sites that we've been seeing, and also motivate the agenda of projecting Ghana music, because when anything about campus now is about foreign content, majority of the things they consume foreign, else like you be classified as a local dude, you be listening to Ghana music, you be like, oh there Charlie, listen to this. And I felt so sad because of the regulative body about our music space. The kind of things we consume has really impacted so much. And the scary part is, these are the guys going to move out from campus, and after 4 years they'll be in the corporate world, and your culture will be
Totally lost.
that's it.
It's
So
gone.
to me, we have to start from Genesis, start impacting more knowledge about the music we're doing, and let them feel proud of being a Ghanaian, because everything here looks like we are not organized. And you being an individual in this part of the world, it is solely one side of the whole projection of music. You invest everything yourself, and you sort of like consume everything in a certain
Locally.
space that
Yeah.
which
The market
needs
is not broad.
and it brings out the struggle. You have to register with other PR companies outside Ghana. Why not Ghana? We don't even have a site that you can have a proper Ghanaian listed songs. I know people are trying, like the way the boom play is not even Ghanaian. Are they like?
No, it's not.
Audio Mark is not, and we don't have it. And these are all part of the reason why our music is struggling. And
Okay.
to me, being part of them also brings about a certain experience where I'm trying to create a certain entertainment night where we will have the students coming in and enjoy typical Ghanaian music. I'm looking at the whole weeks. If they will give me the chance to organize even for them, I will
You've
do
cut the
that.
times for our
Yes, and also making sure. Right now, I've started with some all-white party where the night will be full of Ghana music.
Interesting.
Which is happening at. I'm taking them out of campus because we are now on vacation. 15th July, we will be doing it with some of the Ghanaian celebrities, and also 16th we'll be doing it at Bayview, which is all-white party. But the main agenda is to enjoy Ghana music and see ways, and we're trying to find ways we can have more Ghanaian music on this top 10
Charts.
top
and
hundreds
all
of
the
it's
top 100
hard
and
to
all
even
those.
find one or two Ghanaian music, and they are
Solid.
not even playing it on campus.
A lot of
So,
messages. So many messages today. We're in trouble. This one says, Dada Charles, I share your pain and frustration, but with the kind of leadership Ghana produce, Masu. Look, they don't care. They don't respect the profession. They don't put value on it. And most importantly, you can explain all you want for clarification, but moment you move, it will be in the bin. That is Ghana for you. Everything that's done is against the next election. So I don't quite agree to this one, Nana Kwesi. Look, and something happened yesterday, and I was quite impressed. I wish it would continue. I think, Uncle Charles, in your earlier submissions, you mentioned that all those that are involved in that value chain, including finance minister, yesterday was the first time that I saw finance minister speak at a tourism related event, the relaunch of the National Museum.
Whoa.
Yes, I was shocked, and I thought it was a good man. Oh, okay, this is nice. Finance minister is here. What the parliamentarians have been calling the man, man is not coming, So I thought that was quite impressive, and I thought it was a good step. And I would want to see more of those. So yes,
There's a connection.
yes, there is some connection, because Charlie, we can't move without the money. There is a connection. So a finance minister gets to understand our space and is willing to help put certain, because imagine what there's Quaye Institute here, there's British Council here, there is Barbados is making a lot of inroads here, and they are, look, as I speak, there's going to be a collabo between a Ghanaian act and a Barbadian act, and this is being pushed from Barbados. You understand? So, like Charles is saying, imagine if we had a Ghanaian cultural whatever sitting somewhere that is not a part of the consulate or the embassy. Theirs is to help promote and sell Ghanaian culture. Like these shows, these white parties Guru is talking about. You know, they say, oh, Guru, we like what you did at the Bayview. We want you to come and replicate same in Germany at this pub or at something. You know, like Charles is saying, you don't even need to play to too large a crowd. Play this nightclub here, move here, move here, move here. And that is so. This one says, okay, where's the devil is a liar? The message disappeared. Americans use the soft power, that is music and movies. Yes, Uncle Charles said that, to sell their country. The greatest power is soft power. Listen to country music and you will hear Alabama, Nashville, etc. That is how you promote tourism. That is Shira from Roman Ridge. Emmanuel Joe Pepra from Kumasi, my brother. He says, I'm excitedly enjoying the show with legendary Charles Amoah. He really speaks impeccable English. GQ, I once heard that Charles Amoah coined the name ethno-pop. Yes, he mentioned it early on today, which later became corrupted, and it's what we now commonly call bugger high life. Please ask him what was his inspiration behind the name coinage, as well as the music genre. You don't listen from the beginning. You're late. This one says, oh, where's the message? Yes, there it is. Says, good evening, George. I strongly disagree with Chief Mumin, because if Jamaicans decided to jump onto every trend genre of music, Jamaicans would be known for their authentic reggae sound. Trends come and go, but true style is limitless. But isn't that what Chief Mumin said? or Chief?
I mean, which millennial Jamaican musician do you know? Jamaica is on its great glory from the past. But I mean, the point I'm making is not for us to discard. But my point is that change and evolution is inevitable. But how do we change in such a way that we are still relevant, you know, in the today while still upholding our traditions?
All right.
It's not even an opinion. It's just a fact.
It's just a fact. George on Joy. Good afternoon to you and your team. That's Idil Geetha sent that one in. So let me come back to the studio. Uncle again, you've been quiet for a while.
Yeah, listening to the conversation.
Why do some musicians fade?
Oh, times and seasons.